Welcome to the Ask Batvan Show with me, your host. I'm Batvan.
Nerd.
What's up, everybody? Don't forget about Mazzani. I totally forgot the intro to this show. Producers in the back. Andrew, we got Zyda, kicking cameras. We got Nick, everybody on the crew. This guy in the house right here again, Andrew Bridgeforth, geopolitical expert. Don't forget to share the show. We'd appreciate it if you do. Sharers are carers. Take just a second, use your thumb, use your mouse, whatever it takes. Share the show on any software you're watching from. We'll move your questions and comments to the top. Can't wait to see you and your questions on this live episode of the Ask Big Van Show. What's up, everybody in the whole wide world? Welcome to thanks for watching this episode of the Ask Big Van Show. I totally messed up the intro to
It's okay.
But we're having a blast today. We're so glad you guys are joining us. Hopefully we can get to your questions and have some fun commenting and talking about your topics of discussion that you want to get involved with and with the show, and putting it in the comments below. With me, as always, is social media producer, the beautiful Mazzani Speaks. What's up, Mazzani?
Hey.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm great.
You're feeling better now, are you? Or you think you might be still a little bit squeaky squeaks? She wasn't feeling great earlier, but now I think she's feeling better.
Was she squeaking?
I don't know, maybe inside in her guts. But
In my guts.
in your guts.
Oh, wow.
Oh, sorry. In the back of the producer's lounge, lounging around back there. Who we got back there tonight? We got Ryan. There's Mama T's in the house tonight. Kendall on the end doing them sound effects. Kendall's doing a good job on sound effects. And then we got Zyda kicking cameras. And all these cameras that move, once you see the cameras shift, those are all done by Zyda in our production room. Speaking of shifting, let's shift to this camera. There you go. Look at that. Andrew Bridgeforth back in the house. Hey, look how the camera changes your shirt color. That's crazy.
Wait,
Yeah.
what the heck?
Yeah, that's crazy. But anyways, we got Andrew in the house, and his title today is a geopolitical expert. I guess that's because you're a world expert on all the political knowledge.
These guys are, I mean, you afford me so much, and I'm really flattered that they would come up with that name
Oh
for
yeah,
me.
we came up with it.
The fans demanded that title.
Right. I mean, I accept it.
Yeah.
It's appropriate.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So,
You have a lot of investment in political information, but
mean,
it's good to see you. I'm glad to see you again. I know our participation, in the
It's really
in
good to see
COVID
you.
resist, keeping our distances. Nice to see you again.
Yeah.
High five there. Yeah.
Regardless of what our leftist politicians tell us, COVID
High
is still
five.
here. Right. Oh, yeah.
High five.
Hi,
doing-
too.
Doing our part
Yeah.
here. So.
Social distancing.
Yeah. So listen, everybody, if you're just tuning in, thanks for watching. Tuning in, all you fans that coming back every week. We really can't wait to talk to you and see your comments in the comment place below. Whatever software platform you're watching this from, whatever social media platform you're watching on, just put your comments below. And hey, David, nice to see you. Thanks for joining. But yeah, put your comments below. We'll get to it as we go. Take just a second if you don't mind, and hit the share button. Share it to a group or a page that you're part of, wherever. Just get as many people on here running their mouth as possible, and then we'll have a good time tonight. So I'm looking forward to this evening. Looking forward to all you guys and your input on this stuff. We had a fun conversations before we even went live, and a lot of laughing about the bat van mask. So I don't know about that, but it's probably better that we saw that in the dark, because in the light.
You actually pulled like a Batman. You disappeared when the lights came on.
Oh yeah, it was Bruce. Went to Bruce Wayne. I'm waiting for the checks though. Waiting for the deposits in my account.
Pretty sweet.
Mazzani, what do you say we get started with some questions and topics of discussion?
Let it play.
Yeah, we'll just wait. We'll wait.
No, she's waiting for you. That's good. Good job, Kendall.
But ask the question.
Okay. That's the background as we wait for you to answer the question.
She's prepping you. She's prepping you up for the question.
Okay, this first question comes from Amy.
See her roll her eyes.
She would like to know if you were going on a road trip and you had to take an in-law, who would it be and where would you go?
Oh, that's a good question. Hey, Amy, thanks for watching. Appreciate you always.
Luckily, I'm unmarried.
Look at my hair. It's got messed up with that Batman mask.
I don't think it was the mask.
You had to go on a road trip with an in-law.
Well,
What what do you think about? What do you think? Get that out of my face, man. Let's say so we don't get anybody in trouble by speaking about specific people that we may or may not in our personal families that we may not or may not want to go on a road trip. Let's just talk in general. Would you rather in the studio? Would you rather go on a road trip like with a mother-in-law, father-in-law, or maybe even like some cousins like that? You know, what's your thoughts on that?
I feel like it depends on the gender. Like if it were for me, I'd rather go with a mother-in-law than a father-in-law because I always feel like if it was a father-in-law, he'd always hate me.
A little intimidated or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would go with a brother-in-law. That would be cool because
yeah.
you know you could like be more on the same page,
Yeah.
kind of more similar values or you know likes maybe. Unless you got a brother-in-law that just like is super nerdy or something that's totally on a different. I have a family member that's like that. It's like completely a different planet when it comes to what's cool. Sometimes I look at him like, are you like, is this an act?
Is it Tracy's brother?
No, it's a family member though. Sometimes I think this is a front he's putting on that he's this dorky.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Did you forget the intro he just did?
Yeah. So, yeah. What about you guys? Anybody have a family member? Don't say their names, Mazzani.
I don't have any.
You don't have anybody you would go on a road trip with?
Nope.
So forget them all.
Yes.
And I'll burn in hell, and you don't care one bit.
That's fine.
what if we want to say a name?
Well, you're going to be picking your own battles there, I guess. But
Well, everyone knows that Wayne and I have a trip to Bora Bora.
oh goodness,
Oh, yeah.
so you do have some names put out there,
Oh,
slinging
yeah.
names.
That's
Wayne, you
right.
better
Are you
straighten
going
up.
for real? You going for real?
We're taking
No.
Nana's money. We're leaving Vivian and Van behind. We're
You
just
wish.
leaving.
That's interesting.
We're probably going to be stowaways.
No, we
Like,
need you
pop
to
up.
work and send us more money because we're going to be broke
You'll
by
have
the time
Nana's
we get
money.
there. Well, we might go through that too. You never know with Wayne and I.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Okay. Well, speaking of Batman, let's pull up this question from Ryan Crazy.
Okay.
He wants to know who would you say had the best portrayal of Batman?
Oh, that's a great question, Ryan. Great question.
Thank you. Thank you.
I would say for me is Christian Bale by far. And matter of fact, he's the one who's his portrayal of the way he speaks. He's the first one that did that. You know, that whole like all that growling that he did when he spoke. You know, and since then I've seen the guys that played Batman since then and interviews with him, and they were all like, "What can we do now? Like, what else is there to do? You know, like to make it our role or our character."
A gay Batman.
Yeah, and it's a gay Batman.
I'm gay man.
You know what I'm saying? It's like because he did such an impressionable character of Batman that it's hard to top that.
And
you know?
they've just had so many different people play Batman, from like live action to cartoons
Yeah.
to like the Lego movies, like Will Arnett doing them.
Oh
like,
yeah,
like,
that was really good.
in his voice for it. So, yeah.
But his voice was also inspired and taken by Christian Bale. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
I liked Ben Affleck's. I didn't love Ben Affleck's Batman. I think Ben Affleck's Batman, the character, was cool. I
Oh, really?
Yeah, that DC universe was a little bit darker, and I think that was a cool environment. I don't think Ben Affleck was the right person for
If
that.
we're gonna go
Yeah.
dark, bro, We're gonna talk about Batman in the future when he gets old and starts killing people for real.
Oh, you think so?
That's gonna be
When he
they
gets bitter?
finally when they finally decide to do that. And he's got all these scars on his body.
Yeah.
and he's hateful
And he's
just
bitter.
vengeful and bitter. That's gonna be wonderful. They need to go ahead and get that. Why are they still with
Didn't
this
they make
old
it-
stuff?
I think they kind of teased that at the end of the Snyder cut
You're right.
Justice League.
Didn't they have a Superman movie where he was bitter like that? Wasn't there
Lois
one,
Lane
one of those
died.
films where he was real bitter and like nasty?
Yeah, that was an animated movie I saw on
No,
HBO.
it was one. I don't watch animated movies, so I know it wasn't that.
Okay.
So it was,
Nerd.
I'm not the nerd. You're the one watching animated Superman
Well,
movies.
you're missing out, bro. It's
You
canon.
gotta follow the storyline.
Dude, it's canon, bro. Like, it's official.
That's not analogically correct the way that worked.
Listen to yourself. What
That's
am I, Emperor
in a
Ming
big
here,
debate right now.
controlling your mind?
With the with the new Batman movie that came out, is people are talking about who played Batman the best, but then it's kind of turned into who's played Bruce Wayne the best, who's played Batman the best, who's played them together as
Yeah.
a whole the best. So
Yeah, I haven't seen this new Batman.
Is it out?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it
came
out
out
Friday.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Me
To
too.
be honest with you. And from the first time I saw Robert Pattinson was doing it, I wanted to see it. I'm an admirer of his work. And I saw some clips of the previews. I don't watch previews very much of previews. Once I decide I'm going to see a movie, I don't want to see another preview or anything else about it. I want to hear nothing else about it. I want it all to be a fresh storyline to me. But once I saw a clip of him and he had bulked up and put some mass on for it, I was like, okay, this guy's a character actor. But I've already seen him in other movies where he was a real good character actor and played different roles, and I was super impressed. I saw that movie I told you guys about one time before about him playing like an old redneck, not old, but like a kind of a dunce type redneck. That movie is in Australia. It's about like an Australia. I believe that I remember it's about like an Australian apocalyptic type of movie. And so you can get in and just check out Robert Pattinson apocalyptic movie. I can't remember, but it's really
I will
well
say,
done.
I will say that the Batman movie is coming to streaming in a month. So
Put on
if
Disney
you,
Plus.
no HBO Max.
So if you want to see it on the big screen, you better get out there.
Yeah. Or if you don't want to pay if you already have HBO Max and you don't want to pay to go see it in theaters. You just watch it.
It's not the same though. Why would you watch something like that on a small screen?
I'd prefer it to be at home with my own snacks instead of having to sneak them in. It's great.
Yeah, it's just not the same though. That's the kind of movie you want to see on a big screen where you.
What kind of TV do you
You
have?
gotta move. No, I have a big
He's
TV.
got the 80-inch or whatever.
Okay.
Like,
Well, I don't understand.
86.
I
My
could
bad.
watch it at home and be pleasantly satisfied, but most people don't have that big of a TV at their house. You know.
But they have friends.
Yeah, well, come on over. You can watch it at my house, but I'm going to the theaters to see it before then, though.
I will say, speaking of TVs, I've been in the market recently, and there's just so much new technology out there. It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
You've got OLED, QLED, UHD,
Who can keep up with it?
mini and micro, whatever LEDs. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a ton out there.
Micro Fabian.
Apple just came out with a 5K monitor today.
Oh, I heard they had their March event.
Yeah, a 5K monitor. That's insane.
Well, I mean, they're already selling 8K TVs at Best Buy, so
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
4K is quickly becoming the standard. 1080p is going to be gone. We're actually filming this in 1080, but we're ramping up to be able to put it out in 4K because it's not going to be long, and 1080 is going to be like VHS was. You know, people are going to be like, "What is that?"
It's not like them Rugrats tapes, though, bro.
Yeah,
To this day.
that's true. But yeah, they're already marketing. Oh, I guess we're going to another question.
Okay.
First of all, it's an accident, but it kind
Yeah.
of.
Hey,
that's fine.
Play a different. Let's play a different song going into the next question. Hold
It's
on.
too late. We're already here.
Hold on, back it out
We're
there.
already here.
Okay, I'll prep the next.
We're already here.
Okay, ready? I'll be like,
You start taking too long on things.
all right.
I'm just gonna start playing.
all right, let's take another question.
All right. This question comes from Tracy Estes. She wants to know if you could write a book, what genre would you write it in? Mystery, thriller, romance, historical
Oh.
fiction, nonfiction?
Oh, that's a good
I already know
question.
the answers for both of you guys.
For me personally, if I wrote a book, I think I would want to write it in, like, historical fiction.
I'm aware.
What? What does that look for? Like you're annoyed by it.
1984. Animal Farm. On some Orwell.
No, I would like historical fiction because, you can tie in some things that make people think, maybe, is this real? Because I remember that thing happened. I remember that event happened. And you can, like, play off that event and just, like, make this complete farce of a story up. But it's kind of like me telling jokes on the show all the time. Like, people believe it up until the very end. They're like, that's not real, right? That's a joke. Yeah. So I would write story. If I had time, I would write. I would be an author. I'm creative enough. I would do it, but I don't discipline myself to have that kind of focus on those things. I'm so spread out.
It seems like a huge undertaking to write a book.
Yeah,
you know?
Seems like it.
You could write like a 5-paragraph or 5-page essay, and like even that is daunting. So
yeah, you sit down and start. You start writing, and you're like, next thing you know, it's, you've been writing for 4 hours or 8 hours straight, and you're like, man, I'm writing a book. This is awesome. And then you look what you got, and you got like half a chapter, It's like you're supposed to write 50-chapter book or something, It's like, nah, man, it's a lot of endeavor. But that's why those guys, they write them. They'll write books for like 6 months or 8 months, professional authors. But then they make them dollar bills if they sell them. So
you got to get published.
Yep.
And nowadays you got to be writing the right things to get published.
Yeah.
So, for that reason, historical fiction is probably the best way to go about it. Because if you just write a nonfiction book, like, hey, this is what happened in 2020.
Oh, yeah.
And this is what led to 2022.
Yeah.
They would not publish that book.
No, you would have a hard time. But also sci-fi would be fun because the nice thing about sci-fi is sky's the limit, right? You literally anything you want to write about anywhere ever there's no boundaries. You can, dude's arm grows out of his ankle. And it's like, yeah, that's acceptable. It's sci-fi. You can do it. You can do whatever you want. Yeah. And it's like, oh, these people came from this land, and they have, their shoulders are fastened to their ears or something. Whatever. And it's like, I'm just making stuff up while I'm talking. But you can do anything you want. It's sci-fi.
Right.
There's no boundaries.
What am I, Emperor Ming here, controlling your mind?
Yeah, so I would think for sci-fi. Now, realistically, what I would write if I sat down tomorrow, which I'm working on right now, is I would write nonfiction self-help stuff.
Okay.
And I'm actually working on a book right now. Hey, maybe I'll plug just a little bit. Should I call it? No.
A shameless plug?
Shameless plug. I'm working on a book called Broke Proof to help people not be broke no mo.
Oh.
Isn't that cool? So once that's out, I'll plug it on this show, and we'll all get famous and stuff. So
all right, cool.
Okay, you ready for the next question?
I am. Yeah. Oh wait, hey Mazzani, let's go to another question.
I don't know. You're gonna have to.
I thought she was at the ready. Mazzani, you don't seem to like this.
The music is for you to start reading. You don't have to wait for the music to
but
end.
I don't think Mazzani likes the music.
It's okay.
It's lame, isn't it?
It's your show, Van.
Yeah,
I'm
it is.
jamming.
She's absolutely correct. It's your show.
Batman.
Yeah, let's wait. Give us some other options because the last two you played were pretty.
I have 4.
Let's hear some other ones.
Can we get a live reaction?
Yeah.
What is this?
So you want me to this next question comes from.
I hate that one.
Decent.
These
You
are just
put it
not.
on here.
These are just not
Yeah,
very good.
just pretty lame.
Yeah.
You're right. We got to get better songs.
Well, you put it on there.
I'm not blaming you, Kendall.
Good, because it wasn't my fault.
I'm just saying.
Blaming me?
No, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying
Blaming Ryan.
let's work to get some better songs. But I like the concept.
Don't give me attitude, sir.
I like the concept, but let's get some better songs for that. Okay, all right. Go ahead. Let's take another question, Mazzani.
Okay.
You're still just gonna have to.
This next question comes from Linnea Poole. She wants to know: have you ever put a friend's family in an uncomfortable situation purposefully on accident?
Have you ever put your friend or family in an uncomfortable situation purposefully? Honestly, you mean like when we fart in the car? Is that what you're talking about? Because if so, I could name a couple people in this building who've put me in very uncomfortable positions.
I know you're not talking because you used to do that and then lock the windows so we couldn't roll them down. We would just
That is true.
silently die in the back seat.
Cruel and unusual punishment. That is true. I don't know. Yeah, I've put people in on purpose, an uncomfortable position. Sometimes I get a little sadistic where if somebody's getting upset, and I know this bothers you, but sometimes if somebody's getting upset, I'll poke buttons Like, I just want to see how upset they're going to get. You know, it's like, let's just see how far they're willing to go. Like, they're mad, but how mad can they get? You know, or will they finally just be like, forget it, I'm not. Do I make you right?
From the conversations that I've overheard, I feel like you do that with adjusters sometimes. I mean, because you know you're coming from, I wouldn't say a position of power, but you know that you're correct.
Yeah, I know my stuff.
Right. So it's just a little bit entertaining to you, which...
Yeah, it is entertaining.
Yeah.
It is entertaining. And maybe I get that from my dad because I grew up and my dad was very explosive when I was younger. He's not now. He's a very calm, level-headed, fine, older gentleman. But when I was younger, he was very explosive. He had a fast, hot temper, and so I spent a lot of time very afraid that I was going to make him get upset, you know. But he would get upset, and so maybe it's part of that's kind of in me. Like, I'm no longer really like, if I survived my dad freaking out, you know, it's like, I don't care if you get mad. And my dad's famous line he tells people all the time is like, you know, go ahead, get mad, scream and yell, take all your clothes off, run down the middle of the road. I don't care. Do whatever you're going to do. But when you come back, we're going to finish this conversation, you know, that kind of thing. And so that's kind of my approach now. So if I'm talking to somebody, an adjuster at work, or if you don't know what I do, guys, I'm a what's called a public adjuster. So I represent property owners in insurance claims, and then the insurance company sends over an adjuster to represent the insurance company, and I usually just negotiate or talk with those insurance adjusters about how much this claim should be and how it should be handled and that kind of thing. So that's what he meant by talking to adjusters. So a lot of times I'll be talking to those adjusters, and they will be getting upset or whatever, and I'm
get aggressive.
And they get aggressive, and I'm just like, yeah, go ahead, take all your clothes off, run down the road, whatever you got to do. But it is true that I do put people, even people we work with sometimes that have short fuses.
I feel attacked.
Like sometimes I just like, hey, because I'll tell you why I do that. It's a defense. It's some kind of mechanism in me when people, because sometimes people use that anger to control other people. They're like, you better do what I want or I'm going to explode, And so, so my response.
Do as I say and you live.
Exactly. And my response to that is, well, go ahead and explode. Like I am not non-confrontational. You know what I mean? Some people are very non-confrontational. Please don't explode. Whatever you do, don't explode. Okay, I'll do what you want. Just don't get upset. And that's not me at all. I'm like, let's get upset. Get as upset as you're going to get. Because to me, it's embarrassing that you're going to get so upset about this topic or whatever. So just chill out unless,
when a person gets angry or when they resort to insults, they've lost the argument at that point.
Yeah,
because you have no merit behind what you're stating. It's just I'm mad at you.
Yeah, just mad and saying hurtful things, trying to hurt the other person or whatever.
It's over.
But yeah, so I'll do that sometimes. I'll poke the bear. One time I remember I had this guy, and there was this guy that worked with me. His name was Luke, and he had grown up very similar in explosive situations, and he was very afraid. He was still at that point in his life where he's very worried if somebody was going to get upset. And a lot of that comes from parenting and the way parents react. When parents, and if you're a parent, listen, this is good advice. Maybe if you care about changing, but if parents react in discipline out of anger, like it's ignore the problem until they get on your nerves and you explode, and now it's like, damn it, I told you to don't do that or blah blah blah, and I'm gonna explode and I'm gonna. Yeah. I can't take it anymore. If that's how you parent, that's your children, like it or not, are going to grow up with this fear of confrontation. They're going to grow up waiting, afraid to that somebody's going to explode. Like that's how they see life is like that's what. And so, and frankly, if you discipline that way too as a parent, if you get explosive and then inflict pain on your child, whether that's spanking or whatever, out of anger. Rather than the correct parenting is non-emotionally training and disciplining your children methodically how to do and live life without emotion, just like, hey, I'm the wire, you flip the switch, the wire carries the power up to the light comes on, you flip the switch, the light came on, I'm just the wire. I didn't choose to carry it, you flipped the switch, now I'm disciplining you to train you not to flip the switch anymore. That's kind of parenting I'm talking about. But the point is, this kid Luke had come from a parenting home situation where they just exploded, and got very angry and whatever. Anyhow, all that to say, I remember one time I had this kid in the work van with me, and I pulled up to this intersection, and there was a lady that was waiting on the light. We were all kind of waiting to get out of this parking lot, right? And this lady was here, and I was like in the van here, and she pulled up, and when the light started turning green, all I did was took my foot off the brake, so the tire just rolled like it just rolled forward maybe 6 inches. Well, she was texting and looked up at us, and it was like a wasp. You know how wasps will turn their head like that, like all of a sudden, like from a horror movie? Well, she looked up, and I looked over at Luke, and I could see dread on his face that this lady, complete stranger, he's never going to see her again, whatever, is going to get mad at us. Like, he's like, and he even looked at me like,
We should have had a safe word.
yeah, you better not. And so when I saw him do that and I saw her, I was like, this is going to be one of those moments, So sure enough, I rolled forward again. And now she's like full on, turn her upper body towards me like, we're going to go, And so she rolls forward to make sure there's no way I'm getting out, And so I knew I couldn't get out, but doesn't mean I wasn't going to keep trying. So as soon as the light turned green and everybody could I start doing this shuffle thing, trying to get in front of her, and she's flailing her arms and screaming and cussing. And I saw when I did that, Luke, when he saw that there was no danger, right, that this lady's all mad, hilariously pissed off, and I was laughing and getting pleasure out of this. He laughed so hard. He belly laughed for 10 minutes about that situation. It was spiritually relieving to him to be in a situation like that, And anyhow, so I don't know why I got on that whole rant, but it was.
I agree with you. I mean, I think that's why I love this job too, because I wouldn't say I like to argue, but definitely like to debate, especially when I know I'm correct.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not a bully by any means, but especially when it comes to political topics too.
Yeah.
I definitely don't shy away from a discourse. We'll say, especially when it matters. When it matters for the future of our country. I enjoy that type of thing.
The key to a successful debate is patience.
Yep.
And a lot of times people lose their patience and they lose the debate. But the key is hey, just be patient and respectful. Let them say everything they want to say, because in a negotiation, your objective is to get the other person to hear what you have to say, and nobody is listening if they're feeling like they're trying to say something. Right? Is that not true across the board? If somebody's trying to say something to you and you're not, and they still feel like they have to say something, they're not listening to what's coming out of your mouth.
Listening. So I got a 4-year communications degree, so I pretty much know about communicating effectively.
I pretty much know everything.
Yeah.
So
When it comes to someone talking, if I'm not a debater. I don't want to debate. If I know I'm right and you just keep talking and you sound just dumb to me, I will tell somebody else. I'll be like, hey, listen to what this dude said, and I told him this, but he didn't believe me.
Yeah.
Who's right? And I just need validation. I just want validation about what I've said. I don't have to continue to go back and forth with you. I have no time or patience for that.
Yeah.
I'm just I know I'm right, so here's the facts. So what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Well, that's called active listening. When you listen to what somebody said, actually take it in.
Yeah.
Offer them feedback so that they know that you've listened to what they've had to say.
Right.
But then when you actively listen, take what they've said and turn it back against them. Tell them where they're wrong. Right.
Well, and yeah, exactly. And they'll receive that if they feel like they've given everything they had to say. And also, like they told Dwight to do, make sure you make eye contact and nod.
I was just thinking that scene.
Listen, I'm just waiting to say what I have to say, so hurry up. That's not how you.
If you guys don't know what I'm referencing about Dwight,
Okay,
I don't
uncomfortable
even know you.
situations. Speaking
Anybody
of
else?
uncomfortable situations,
Anybody else out there?
this is currently an uncomfortable situation. No, really though.
Oh,
no, we're not going to.
Kendall.
We're not going to the next question.
Hey, let me say something real quick. I've been noticing these cameras are switching. They're hot.
Fast. Yeah, they are.
Zaida is killing it back there. Good job, Zaida. Thank you very much.
I had an uncomfortable situation.
You did?
Someone put me in.
Let's hear it.
God, here we
Oh
go.
no.
Somebody,
Here we go.
a friend of mine, found out that I might have been speaking to the same guy as them.
Oh my gosh.
And
Mazzani.
I was no longer doing that anymore. And so they wanted to investigate and see if they were still interested. So I did so
Oh gosh.
as a good friend. And I thought we'll leave it at that. And then they name dropped me.
What?
Yes.
No, they didn't.
How uncomfortable and deceitful.
Oh gosh.
How do you feel about someone name dropping?
I don't understand what you mean by name dropping in that context.
So basically,
How would they do it? They'd
they
be
would
like,
say, "Hey,
girl, let me tell you
hey,
about this son.
this girl said that you said or showed me messages between you guys, and I thought we were talking."
Oh.
But they name dropped you. They didn't even say like, "I know that you're talking to other people."
Oh,
they
yeah.
they would. Like,
Oh.
she said her
Okay,
name.
so Tracy, let me translate this for you for our generation. That means
You think I'm stupid?
throwing. We call that throwing you under the bus. So that's everybody that's my age. What Mazzani's referring to here in this modern day conversation.
Are they
Basically,
in the studio?
basically,
Basically,
might
we're
be.
talking about throwing somebody on the bus.
they was player hating,
Yeah,
and they wasn't
that's
participating.
even older school.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Everybody that's younger than me, that's older than Mazzani, they was player hating. That's what they was doing.
When they need to be, participate.
Yeah. don't hate, participate.
That's all I'm saying.
Are you from the pod?
All right, Mazzani.
So that's what name dropping means.
Don't name drop your friends.
Don't be name dropping. Don't be
name
deuce dropping.
Okay, that is uncomfortable.
Don't be deuce dropping in the car. Don't be name dropping on the.
Now I'm uncomfortable.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, good job. All right,
Let's go to
another question.
Yes. Ooh.
I was waiting for the
Okay,
sound.
so I don't have like I don't know what's going on with my system. So we'll just do anonymous.
Hey, before you go to that question, what about the heat? Is the heat on in this building?
Are you hot?
Are you hot?
Yeah. Getting
You need a
very hot.
personal fan in there so the rest of us don't catch pneumonia.
On
Hey,
your feet.
hey, Ryan, can you grab me a water?
So this question is, what fictional family would you be a member of?
Fictional family.
Mm-hmm.
The Incredibles.
Nice.
Why? Because of the hips on that wife?
Oh.
I'm just
What you trying to say?
no. I'm just saying like that's what I think about when I see Incredibles.
Yeah.
Is her hips? Have you seen those? Those don't even look right.
Yeah.
Hips don't lie.
I don't. I usually don't find attractive.
I thought that was a puppy.
He's rolling.
I didn't see.
He's rolling. I wish that
I was
was
like,
okay.
Why did Andrew's head pop right in there for a
I wish
second?
because
That's hilarious.
well, you didn't see Ryan.
I saw Ryan.
Ryan comes in and barrel rolls
I thought it was a dog.
He's Mission Impossible.
across the floor like Mission Impossible. Hands Andrew his water and gets out.
I like the
I
fact
go-
that
I go the
Andrew
extra
just
mile.
like
Good
popped
job.
in there for a
And I noticed the
second.
air change too. So you did more than enough.
Yeah, the rest
Two
of us have
birds.
snot sickles now. Thanks.
So
Nothing's ever good enough.
I don't remember what we were talking about.
What?
We were talking about fictional characters. And
You
being
want to
in
be
their
part of the
family.
Incredibles?
Oh, yeah,
and
the
Mazzani
Incredibles.
said it's because of the hips.
Yeah, but I don't find much attractive
Easy.
Tread
gratification.
lightly, my friend.
I don't find sexual
sorry.
attraction in
Sorry that I did
in
that. I apologize.
cartoon characters.
I apologize.
That's
I'm
not
sorry
really my
that
thing.
I did that.
Me neither.
But I was thinking,
I love watching anime, but like I'm not really attracted to the characters or anything.
He's a liar.
what about you guys? Fictional family you would be a part of if you could?
You said The Incredibles?
Yeah, that's
Pretty
already
good
used.
one. Yeah, no, I was just thinking that.
No,
Can
that's
we?
my
Can I
family.
pick like a reality, like a TV, like sitcom one,
long
and
as
then
it's
an animated
fictional.
one?
Yeah.
As long as it's fictional,
Fresh
not
Prince
real.
of Bel-Air?
Okay, so I would
No,
pick.
you cannot be part of the Trump family. They are not fictional.
Why would I pick
They
that?
are real American superheroes.
Damn.
Whoa, stop right there.
Sorry, go ahead.
What?
Johnny Trump. That's got a nice ring to it.
No, it doesn't.
Yo,
It sounds
you better back
terrible.
off.
It actually sounds good. Mazzani Trump.
She could marry Barron.
America, next
My
president.
womb is barren. Listening to
Next
that.
president of the United States. Please welcome the next president of the United States, Mazzani Trump. Where's the sound effects? Gosh.
I like Mazzoni's
Well, I mean,
speech
there's
better.
one problem with that.
Why? What?
Tread lightly, Andrew.
I'm joking.
What? What's
Hey,
the problem?
it's International Women's
Wait,
Day.
no. What's the problem?
That's a
What are you
good
talking
one.
about?
What's the problem?
Because he's so old?
No. Come
He
on
was
now.
going to say something that he's going to get attacked for.
No,
Go ahead.
please. I want to know.
Please, Andrew.
Just do it.
It's International Women's
Can
Day.
you
That's not what you were
say
going to
it.
say, dear.
What do you think I was going to say?
I don't
Yeah.
know. I really, truly don't. That's why I'm.
There is
I
a-
know what he was going to say.
Let me tell you what's happened here. A can has been opened.
That's
Pour
correct.
it out. I want to know.
It was a joke, guys. Like,
And
come
this,
on, we
the
know it was
other
a joke.
part that's fixing to happen.
Oh, gosh.
What's the
Oh,
joke?
goodness.
The reason that I would even feel comfortable saying that is because I don't believe it.
I like to laugh.
Mazzoni said, "You want to get funny? We can get hilarious."
You understand if you say anything after this, you're going to die.
So you want to talk about mothers?
So you want to talk about?
Mazoni's like, what? What's so funny? I like to laugh. Tell me. He's like, tell me what's so funny. Tell me, Dale. I'm funny. I want to laugh. Look at her. Yeah, don't say nothing, man.
Tell me, Andrew, so we can get over with. Rip the Band-Aid off. Just
I don't even
say
know.
I don't even remember.
I don't even.
Say it,
you are
Andrew.
so full of folly,
So
and I am not going to tolerate it.
You're so full of folly, and I'm not going to tolerate.
We're not going to ask
Just
you another
tell me.
question.
You're at
No,
that,
we're not. We're not answering
Andrew.
another question.
you're at that point where they're going to be angry at you if you don't tell them, but you'll still be alive.
I'm irate.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I'm irate.
Are you sure?
Tell me.
I'm
Are
not.
you sure? I like to
Okay.
laugh. I have a sense of humor.
Okay, everybody. Did you guys see that Braves game the other day?
I don't watch baseball.
We're watching the Andrew game right now.
Yep.
Not even Braves season.
Yeah, honest, my short-term memory is so bad. I've
Andrew.
been hit so many times in the head.
Andrew.
I tell you, I played college football.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Andrew, just tell me. It's
Okay.
hilarious.
I don't even know what it was.
I don't even remember what I said.
He
To be
told
co-
you remember.
I'm gonna be
Okay.
honest
remember.
with you. I would if I could.
Let me say,
I'm sorry.
we were talking about Trump and her being last name Mazzoni Trump.
Oh,
Okay? And you said that wouldn't be possible?
I think that was what it was.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, it would be possible for me to marry him. Okay.
Oh, you know what? I was wrong
Yeah.
on that one then.
Because
no. I want to know.
But
what was the
she
joke?
doesn't have to marry Donald Trump.
You
She can
said-
marry one of the other Trumps.
I want to know the joke.
Come
No,
on,
you-
Andrew.
I want to laugh. Do I deserve to laugh?
Again, I would if I could. I don't remember.
Andrew.
Oh, man.
Andrew.
International Women's Day,
Yeah.
guys.
Do you know where I'm from, Andrew?
excited.
Do you know where I'm from?
Key Largo.
I'm from the country.
Mar-a-Lago.
The
And I
dirty
like
South.
it
Me
that
too.
way.
Me too.
Dirty South.
Are you prepared for what's going to happen after this show?
I can run a mile in under 6 minutes.
My car goes
But that means
fast.
you got to get by her.
But you got to outrun her car. All right,
true.
let's move on. Okay,
She
Mazzoni.
said my car goes fast.
You-
That's hilarious because I've hit all of my exes with my car. Anyways, next question.
All right, let's take another question here. All right.
I'm not. No. I refuse. We haven't even answered the previous question.
What was the previous question?
The previous question was fictional families.
Oh yeah, we didn't even get to talk about fictional families.
That's
which
the old man dance right
we
there.
have established clearly that Trump family is not fictional. They're just regular, real American heroes.
Could you stop bringing it up?
Oh yes,
Because it's making me upset with Andrew.
because Andrew doesn't think that you could be in the
He
Trump
doesn't
family.
think that I can handle his joke. That's what I'm upset about, not the fact that I
I
can't
don't
be
think it
a
had anything to do with the
I
Trump
think he thinks I'm
family
going to
per
get
se.
overzealous.
Okay,
or something.
Okay, fine. Instead of skirting, let's just delve in.
Yes.
Okay,
Let's
so
do
what
it.
could it be? What could it be?
Okay.
It could be that
I'm ugly.
you.
Words. Okay.
Okay. It could be that you're that he doesn't think you would be attractive to
Okay,
the,
yes.
one,
Well,
to one
it could
member
be
of the
'cause I'm
Trump
black.
family because you're black.
No,
Okay.
no. I
Could
think
be
it's
that
more.
you're
Wait,
black.
We were going down the completely
It could
wrong
be- could
path.
be
There's
that
so
you're
many
black.
people talking at one
it's
time.
more
right now.
so that he doesn't think, here it comes, a woman should be president.
Oh.
No. On International Women's
That's
Day?
why he kept saying it.
No.
AB.
That is a reach.
Don't scream in the microphones.
That's a
everybody.
reach.
Is that what it was?
I'm offended.
Is that what it was?
I'm a feminist.
Is that
Look
what
at
it was?
Center up in the screen there.
Is that really
Andrew,
what it
you're such a
was?
liar.
Was that
Andrew,
what
you
it
don't
was,
lie
Andrew?
very
Was
well.
that what it was?
Listen. All right.
You're a liar.
A lot of people want to talk
Oh,
about.
baby.
A lot of people want to talk about.
We don't talk about Andrew. We don't talk about Andrew.
Hold on. Hey, he has the right to his opinion. I want to hear what it is. I
It
want
was
to hear
National
what it is.
Women's Day.
All right, here's the deal. Andrew,
Yeah.
are you implying that a woman could not be president?
No woman's allowed wearing white.
And if so, that's your right to feel that way.
No,
but
I don't.
If so,
I don't truly believe that.
If so, elaborate on why
Yeah,
not.
elaborate.
Please.
I think there are plenty of women who are absolutely qualified to be the leader of the free
Just
world.
not me.
No.
I agree.
That was no. That's not what I meant by no. Definitely not.
Okay, let him talk. Let him talk.
Definitely not Kamala Harris, who came in, last
Right.
in every Democratic poll ever.
Right,
Right. She was chosen as a token, and people just ate it up because identity politics, and that's
Yeah.
sad. But somebody like Tulsi Gabbard, she's a Democrat.
That's true. I could
Super
agree with that.
intelligent. Yeah,
I could agree with that.
I would love for her to be the president.
Super intelligent. Not Mazzani, but she's.
It was just a joke about women can't be president. Okay, that was
Okay,
it.
it was just a
It
joke,
was not about you
Mazzani.
personally.
No, you done it now.
Okay.
I'm hot.
Okay, let's talk about the wage gap.
Okay.
Okay, because people
Pause.
want to say.
Pause.
Oh God.
Perhaps you need to take a minute.
I just want to dispel it really quickly.
Do you guys know what the wage gap conversation is for all of you that
Are
don't know?
you for real?
So what it means, Mazzani, is that if you have one wage here and another wage down here, there's a gap.
Right.
There's only this much of a gap between my car and us and her.
Okay, but for real, like people want to talk about the wage gap. I mean, the whole reason for it is because men choose jobs like doctors, engineers, lawyers,
And women can't do that,
Women,
right?
No,
women
well,
don't do
no.
that. Women aren't lawyers,
It's just
doctors,
women,
and engineers.
Women choose different, lower-paying jobs like female doctor, female engineer.
Hee hell.
Oh my gosh. Oh man, you are getting canceled.
I'm just kidding, guys. Come on, we can't laugh about this. Obviously, I don't really truly believe that.
That's a good one.
So funny to me.
Oh my god.
That's awful. That's awful.
You know
All
what?
right,
Last month it was about Black History. Now this month we gotta
Did
have
I
jokes.
joke about
What's
Black
next month?
history?
Was last month
No,
Black
that was
History
you.
Month?
Yeah. Last month. Wow. Oh wow.
We should have had a safe word.
I joked about
Oh, never
I
mind.
didn't joke
Can we
about
stop? Never mind. Just cut it. Cut it. Here's the line. We're gonna leave it. Let's get back
Wait
to the
a minute.
question
We're
at
going to
hand.
leave it where you told everybody in the world that I joked about Black History Month?
No. No.
We have to correct that error.
He did not joke about Black History Month
There.
and
Thank
leave
you.
it.
I did not joke about
Anyways,
Black History. Was Black History Month last month, though?
please stop. Stop. Don't. Yeah, you know that.
It was?
You know that.
You should
Pushing
see her
those
face.
buttons.
You're aware.
You should see her face.
You know.
Isn't it also? It's Women's Month.
Can I tell them what you told me the other day?
Can you just email me
No,
the rest
sir.
of this story?
That.
Okay.
We're good. Can we go back
Are we
to the
done with
question?
this
Can we-
topic?
Yeah, we're done
Oh, no.
with this.
We're
Let's
still
go to the
talking about
question.
being a part of a fictional family.
Let's
though.
go to fictional families.
Just not the Trump family.
Yeah, we'll pick some. I'll
Because
pick.
they're not fictional.
I'll
Ricky
pick.
Bobby.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one, Ryan.
Baby Jesus.
I think that I wouldn't want to be his family because he lost all his money though, low key. I would want to do like Seventh Heaven, that fictional family, and then I always wanted to know what it'd be like to be a preacher's daughter. Anyway, and then I would pick.
What do you think it would be like to be a preacher's daughter?
Lane.
You think? You think so?
Yeah.
But what's that? Obviously, there's like some kind of a admiration there for you, some kind of a highlight of being.
I feel like you're always surrounded by like positivity, and then you always have people in
Okay.
your corner and praying for you and taking care of your soul and stuff. And you don't have to fight as hard for yourself.
Huh.
You don't have to try to climb up as hard. You know how people talk about like praying grandmas and stuff.
Yeah.
That's important.
It is. Absolutely.
I would definitely pick Seven Heaven for that one. And then if I'm gonna pick like animated, I think this is gonna be really weird, and you only know if you know, but it's gonna be Vampire Night. Nerd.
I don't know what that is.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Just
I don't.
if you know, you know, and it's a good thing you don't know.
Yeah, I don't know because I don't watch that trash.
It's not
trash.
It's not trash.
It's not?
No, it's not trash. It's a quality anime.
Last time we had this conversation, you said like all of the movies and shows you like are horror movies.
Wait a minute.
I don't watch horror movies.
What'd you say?
I don't
like
watch
demonic
thrillers.
movies or something?
No.
What were you saying last time? The show was like it
What?
was
Did you mean horror or... Oh, did you mean the other one? The other word?
what's the other word?
I'm not saying it.
My fictional family would be American Dad. Anybody seen American Dad?
Why would you pick American Dad?
Because
Oh, yeah.
I love Roger, the alien. He's so and he's always getting into like little adventures. He is, and he's still like he's just really funny. I like him. I think we'd be good buddies.
Would you?
Did you see Resident
that way.
Alien? That TV show Resident Alien?
No.
It's an interesting show.
I make my money selling propane.
Wait,
But it's not like that.
wait. Yeah, we're doing King of the Hill. I want to be Boom Howard.
King of the Hill.
I want to be Boom
I want to
Howard.
be Bobby because I'm that dumb.
Yeah, bro. I want to be Boom Howard because I want only one person to understand.
Oh yeah,
me.
man. I know what we're talking about, man.
Oh.
Yo.
So if we're gonna pick that, yeah.
Look at this,
that's
man.
What about you guys in the producers lounge? Are you guys you got anybody any fictional
You don't do, like,
family
Yellowstone?
you'd want to be a part of?
Not one that I can think of.
Yeah, TV show Yellowstone. Beth Dutton kicking everybody's ass.
You would want to
Great.
be in that family. They all hate each other.
And
Isn't that real life?
No.
Literally.
Right.
That show was very well done and choreographed and written, but it made me always feel uneasy the way how much those siblings hated each other.
then I'll not wait for you to watch it when it comes back out.
Okay, but that's literally me and my siblings.
No, it
They
isn't.
don't.
They try to kill each other.
They don't like each other.
I run
but
around
they
the house
always
a couple
have each
times with a
other
knife.
Back.
Oh my god.
That's true.
I've never seen the show.
No, they do not have each other's
Yes,
back.
they do.
Beth and Jamie do
He
not.
deserved it.
Okay, now I'm right, but you
He
justify.
deserved
Spoiler alert!
He
Spoiler
deserved
alert!
Everything.
Anyways, yeah, it's a very well written show. Just kind of
Listen,
dark.
I
It's
didn't
pretty
critique
dark.
you and say you were right or wrong. I said that's who I would want to be. Right to my
Wait a
opinion.
minute! Wait a minute!
You're
Wait a
right.
minute! I want to change. I want to change.
Okay.
I want to change.
Okay.
I
Too
want
late.
to do definitely. I want to do Game of Thrones. I changed my mind.
You want to be in whose family in there?
I want to be Khaleesi. Period.
You want to be the
Oh, yeah.
And that's on period.
okay.
Oh,
All right,
Dragon.
Kendall, you got anything to throw in here while we got the open forum there?
Oh wait, if I could choose a cartoon, I want to be Mushu off of Milan. Yeah.
Oh, you get all the funny punchlines.
That's
That's
respectable.
right.
Yeah,
I mean, my kids call me T-Rex anyway, so why not?
Yeah.
it's quality.
I don't know. I
like-
can't think of anything on the spot.
Okay.
Alexis.
Ryan, you got something?
Honestly, I want to be a part of
I can't
Euphoria.
think of any that intrigue me. I can't think of any.
Are you the
shows
girl
or
with the
movies off the top of
cigarettes,
my head.
or are you the girl?
I'm the one that randomly pops up and remember on the back when she's coming to the stage, she's like, "It's because she's racist." Oh yeah, probably.
No, that's
I don't know
that's
what
what she
they're
got
talking
accused
about.
of.
Oh,
Who?
maybe I don't know. The
Huh?
girl on the show we watch.
Yeah, that's what they
Got
said.
accused of what? I couldn't
She
hear.
got accused
Being
of racism.
racist.
That's a good topic. I wish somebody would have asked
Being
that.
racist?
When do you get forgiven?
for being racist.
Yeah, like she made a racist comment when she was young. She's still young, but she was like a dumb teenager, and
Yeah.
now she's on a show, and they're trying to penalize her for that. Like, when do you
Like
get
she
forgiven?
literally
Oh yeah.
randomly pops up across the show because of that.
I mean, it takes time, obviously, but I think there's a place in society for certain things.
Especially when you're a kid. Like when you're a kid, you just say dumb stuff.
But like, look at Hulk Hogan. Video surfaced of him saying the N-word and stuff
Did it?
aggressively, and
Oh, wow.
but it was from like 10 or 15 years ago, and he was canceled everywhere. Like they kicked him off of WWE, and
He only talks
they took
aggressively.
all of his merchandise off the website. You couldn't buy any Hulk Hogan stuff. Like they cut him out, and then like he went and I may be butchering the story, but I remember that was one of the topics, and so. But like Roseanne,
Yeah.
you know, like how long is she going to be boycotted or banned from
What did
Hollywood?
she do?
She said said this one reporter looked like something, and a baboon had a baby. I forget what was the other thing.
What did they look like?
It was a black reporter.
But did he look like that?
I don't remember.
I'm sorry.
I don't really remember.
I know that's inappropriate, but
I just know that it was and she may have not been saying that as a racial slur. I'm not justifying Roseanne because she may have been, but she may have just been saying like they may be her go-to insult. You know, like,
what?
I'm just saying that may be her go-to. Like even she may have said the same thing even if the person was white. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you look like whatever. But because that was construed as a very racist comment, which it could very well be, you know. They just completely banned her, kicked her off that show. They had revamped the Roseanne show, remember? And it was like 2 seasons of Roseanne. Now it's just called The Connors.
Yeah.
So you know, like there was no exception. There was no gray area. But she's a comedian, though.
Yeah.
You know, you can have if you're a comedian, you're supposed to be able to say anything. Look at Chris Tucker. I mean, he says stuff. Look at Chris Rock. He says very racist stuff.
Dave Chappelle, you know, he says some very controversial things. They're all black though.
But they're all. That's true. There's a double standard there.
Yeah.
Big double standard.
Big double standard. Well, I was gonna say, look at Joe Rogan. Look at that shorty that was on The Bachelor.
But Rogan's was taken out of context.
But they don't care.
He didn't say it in an aggressive way. What I mean by is like saying like you blank word versus like if Joe Rogan's in a conversation with somebody and Joe Rogan's repeating what somebody else was saying. Like let's say this was Joe Rogan's podcast right now and he's telling the Hulk Hogan story and he says what Hulk Hogan said.
Yeah.
And you know just kind of repeat
know
it.
better.
Yeah. I have a rule that you should never say that word, especially if you're white. I tell my kids this: don't even play around like that. Like, yo, blank, you know, no, you don't even joke like that. Like, it's never acceptable in my opinion. So,
well, I don't think that uttering that word makes you irredeemable. I think that
I agree.
Yeah, I think that everybody makes mistakes, and most of the time, not most of the time, but a lot of the time when people do say it, it's not coming from a place of pure hatred. Usually it's coming from a place of superiority. Like you're with your buddies, all your white buddies, and you're having beers and whatnot, and you'll say it.
Your white buddies.
That's the context that I imagine a lot of the time that it's set in.
Yeah.
I don't think that makes you irredeemable. It makes you ignorant.
Yeah. Well, I think most of the time the word is said in a form of camaraderie. Like most of the time it's said like, hey, I feel comfortable enough with you to say like, yo, my, you know what I mean?
I'm talking about a hard R.
But yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But I'm talking about not a hard R. Like it's never acceptable in my opinion. But but there's definitely times when I hear it and somebody says it, for real says it, they're being very racist. They're being very derogatory. And it's out of place, no question about it. And so it's never acceptable in my opinion. However, what you're saying, I do believe people change. I changed. I was a very horrible person before Christ changed my life.
Oh.
And so, you know.
I was going to say you was something else. All right.
You know, you're never alone.
Yeah, and so I know how different I was. And so if you you treat me now or hold me accountable now for the way I behaved before Jesus, I'm a completely different person. So I would be like, I don't do that anymore. Like I don't feel that way anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Doesn't matter to the mob.
And so, yeah. And so, you know, maybe something would surface right now that I had said way back then and that was horrible.
Is that on a T-shirt?
You know?
It doesn't matter to the mob.
Yeah.
It should be.
That should be a T-shirt. You heard it here first.
No, like legit.
Doesn't matter to the mob because they're just
you
a hive
viewers.
mind. They listen to what they're
I understand.
Get your
I
Ask
get
for
it.
Big Van Show T-shirt here. Doesn't matter to the mob.
Bro, like that's what I was getting at because I'm kind of upset that we don't know more about this character that just pops in and out, and it's all because of that. Come to find out, because everybody's searching it, looking for this girl. We want to know her backstory, and that's why, and that's the explanation. And I'm just kind of confused. Like you guys, she's on the show now. She's a part of it. We're invested.
Yeah.
We're obviously all looking for her, so we don't care. You know, we've forgiven her.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be some type of grace for some people, especially like there was one story, and I don't remember who it was, but she said something about get that whatever off my house or something off my porch. Yeah, she did.
Wow.
But they were like, the joke is that if she were black, it would have been okay because we would have said the same thing. So it's like, where is the grace there?
There's not grace for that though. If she's white and says that what you said about somebody being on,
but
the
it
porch,
wasn't ER. It wasn't hard ER. Like
she was kind of joking.
No, she was serious. But
okay, then there's no.
I just don't know. Where is it okay? Is it like is it okay for me to say it, but it's not okay for white people to say it? Because
No.
It's a double standard.
No, it's a double standard.
Let's not lie about this. I mean,
racism is racism.
I'm just one of those people that's like not gonna be out of shape if I hear a white person say it, as long as it's not hard ER. You hard ER me, I'm gonna hit you in your throat.
Yeah.
But if
some people though, and the other thing is it's never acceptable, and just it is that, you know. And also, there's very racial. We were talking about this the other day. There's racial terms that are out there now towards white people, and it's becoming more and more acceptable. And it's a very racist slur.
Like what?
Colonizer. I hear that a lot on social media. People be like, "You colonizer," you know, and I'm like, "That's a racist term."
Do you think it's more racist to think that they're gonna think you're racist, like by saying it?
What?
Like
that's deep.
Like
bro.
if you don't say the N word, because not with the hard R, just Nigga. Like if you just say
we
that,
know
but
what the word is.
You
without
don't
the hard R.
Well, you clearly don't, because you keep referring to everything, every single word, including the hard R. But if I don't say that to like Mizani, which I do say it to Mizani, we call each other that all the time. But
why would you put that out?
Sorry, I name dropped her again. Oops, my bad. Anyway,
Also, you were from former.
Oh, don't worry about it. You already knew it. If I don't call her that because I think she's going to think it's racist, would that not make me more racist because she's black?
No, I think it makes you respectful.
No, it makes you respectful.
It's not necessarily that. And I mean, I don't ever want my friends to feel uncomfortable around me, like they can't say certain things or they can't do certain
Well, that's
things.
what Dad's saying.
You get what I'm saying? I don't want you to feel uncomfortable, but if you do feel like you shouldn't say certain things at a respect level, that's good on you. That's great on you. I appreciate you for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna hold it to you if you don't feel some type of way about it.
Nobody's ever been in trouble for not being racist.
But, like, if you don't say it, like, if we weren't to say it around you because we respect you, but if you weren't around, we would still say it, would that still not mean that we're racist?
It just
How about
means
this?
it means you're uncomfortable with me. It means that it doesn't mean that. If you're still saying it when I'm not around, but you don't feel comfortable enough to say it when I am around, you're not comfortable with me.
Well, why would you say when she's not around?
Yeah, that sounds.
That's really
Yeah,
weird.
like who are you referring to? Like, you know?
I'm not saying you in
That is-
particular.
no, I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm wondering.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't talk like that.
Yeah, I've never heard you
But
say that in my
I'm just-
life. But yeah.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I have white friends that say it, and I've said it with my white friends.
I like to say it.
When I finally
Definitely.
when I really say that to one of my white friends, I love you now.
Yeah.
Like
Yes,
I don't necessarily just throw it around. You are now my.
I mean, when
we are hardcore connected now.
yeah, I mean, there's not like a set rule for how you can be friends with somebody, but in my opinion, it is never a good time or acceptable place for a white person to say that. And its flip side, I don't think it's respectful for black people to say, racial terms towards white people, about white people.
Okay, so they
Or
can say it
themselves,
amongst
really.
themselves, but they can't say it to white people?
No, I don't think it's acceptable ever. I think let's not say racist terms towards anybody. Let's
Okay.
just keep all of that held
But
down.
what is crazy though is like I say things that are acceptable for me to
What's
say.
David saying there?
Oh, Jesus said, all nations will come together. That means it doesn't matter if you're
Yeah.
black, red, yellow, white, green.
Doesn't matter if you're black or white.
Okay. But what were we just talking about prior to that?
That was really good. I like that.
What was before that? I've forgotten. You've scrambled my brains. No, I'm actually serious. I forgot.
Before we
Before you broke out in song.
I distracted you with my song.
Mm-hmm.
It was so amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and our next question comes from
Next
question. And our next question comes from name one actor. I don't know who this is. Oh, Kendall Estes. Name one actor or even a group that you think can single-handedly end the war in Ukraine. That's a hilarious question.
That's a hilarious question because
And it's also awkward.
These actors.
Name one actor or group.
Yeah.
So we could go back to the Trump family.
Like
Yeah,
an
probably
actor.
yes.
We could go to the Incredibles.
Like
no
an act-
no
yeah,
wars
that's what I'm saying,
during his
like-
presidency.
Like not Ryan Reynolds as Ryan Reynolds. I mean like as a
Ryan
character.
Iron Man.
Oh, like a fictitious character that could end this realistic war.
Yes.
What is that? Wait. What did Seth Rogen and Jonah Hill do that one time?
Thanos.
What was that movie?
The Interview.
The Interview. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that
Oh, yeah.
prior to the start of the war. I'm sorry.
How about Thanos could end this war?
He would kill half of us.
No, he could just snap
Just-
away Russia.
Just turn back time.
Iron Man or Superman.
Okay, well, the Doctor Strange could do it.
Iron Man couldn't do it.
Iron Man would
No.
blow them all up.
Nah.
You
He got his
serious?
face ripped off.
No, he's not in. No, it would. And who do you mean blow them all up?
Wait, why are we not talking about the original Hulk? Like Hulk before this old calm, cool Hulk.
He wouldn't
Like
be
the
able to
Hulk-
control. He'd
like-
just kill everybody.
Oh, that's fine. Did you see how he was throwing those? I just want to say, think about this movie in your brain and see what he could possibly do for us.
Jeffrey Turner.
It's not what the Hulk can do for you. It's what the Hulk can do for yourself.
Jeffrey Turner said Chuck Norris.
Oh yeah.
Only Chuck Norris.
Mm-hmm.
That's true, Jeffrey.
You remember when that was popular in school to
when
say things
Chuck
about
Norris,
Chuck Norris?
does push-ups, he's not pushing himself up. He's
pushing
pushing the world down.
But if we're being serious, I think what's most important is that these celebrities, raise awareness to their social media profiles and just really shine the spotlight on themselves rather than the issues. That's what's really going to solve this conflict.
I think Andrew talking to them is going to solve everything.
John Williamson said Deadpool.
Chuck Norris can count to infinity.
I need to hear Cardi B weigh in on the Ukraine.
We
Russia
need
conflict.
Cardi B's opinion of
You know
this
what?
Russian
Since we're talking
conflict.
her to
about
weigh
this,
in.
since we're talking about this, let's go to this question right
Wait,
now.
I have. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Hey, there's John Moore.
Yes.
What's up,
you,
big
You
guy?
can go ahead. Go ahead. We'll wait. Go ahead.
It's not my show. Go for it.
Don't do that. Only I get to be a booty hole
Petty.
on this show.
El Petio.
So go ahead.
Don't give me attitude, sir.
Okay.
What was the question?
So John Williamson would like to know, do you think that the conflict between Russia, Ukraine, and the United States could be the beginning of World War III? And if so, do you think that it's one of the Bible prophecies being fulfilled?
Good question. Good question. First of all, there's no conflict between Russia, Ukraine, and the United States right now. There's only a conflict between Russia and Ukraine. The United States is currently not involved in that conflict, although we are throwing some money their way. We're not currently sending troops over and fighting and all that stuff like that. So it could happen. It could happen that we step in. I don't think it'd be a good idea because I think if China sees us step in to fight Russia, they may say, "Oh, you better not," because China and Russia are in cahoots, and we don't want to fight China. We're still the big boys on the block in the world on the world.
I'm getting a little pissed here.
On the world stage. So, we still have a very powerful military, but China's got more people in their military than we have American people. So it's a fight we don't want to take on. So, World War III could definitely happen. I am not putting that out of the realm of possibilities. But I did see even today I was reading that President of Ukraine is saying he's willing to concede on some of the things that he wasn't willing to before. He's not saying he's willing to surrender, but he's willing to say, "Hey, I wasn't willing to negotiate that before, but now I'm willing to negotiate that." Primarily letting go of some of those provinces that he wasn't wanting to let go of before. But basically, he's doing that and saying that because he feels like a lot of the people in those places want to go and be Russian anyways, and his concern is, what about the ones that don't? What are we going to do with the ones that want to be Ukrainians still? And so he's saying, I'm willing to solve that problem, and if we can solve that, then we'll put a ceasefire to all of this. But also he's saying we're not surrendering, because one of the things Russia said was, hey, we expect, here's our peace terms. You surrender, you give us this land, and what's the other one that's unquestionably has to become Russian? What's it called? Season or something. There's another, like a province or state or whatever that's, I don't know if they have provinces or states in Ukraine, but it's another territory that Russia says is ours, and this is not even negotiable. Like, this is like one of the main reasons we're doing this is because this is ours. Mm-hmm. And so pretty much that's where we're at with that. So the Ukrainian president's saying, look, I'm willing to talk about those things. Before he was like, hell no, you're not getting any of this land, but now he's like, okay, it seems like I'd be willing to negotiate that, but it's not on terms of us surrendering. We're still fighting you.
I am declaring war.
But I think it could be de-escalating is what I'm saying.
Well, I would also add not to believe the mainstream media narrative that you're hearing.
Of course.
Because Ukraine is not a democracy in the first place. I know a lot of our politicians are saying $10 a gallon for gasoline is worth it to defend democracy. Where was that energy? Well, genocide is being committed in China or in Yemen, we do nothing about it because we're beholden to that money.
Of course, yeah.
Ukraine is not squeaky clean. We established a pro-Western government.
Absolutely.
And we're...
Look at all the garbage they're in and corruption and all the scandals between them and the Biden family.
100%.
And that's just one family. I mean, how many other rich, elite families in the United States are in cahoots with all that? So, but the point is, here, let me go ahead. To agree with what you're saying is the same media, everybody listening and watching the show, the same media who's telling you everything about this Ukraine conflict is the same media who pushed for the elections, that who covered over all the election fraud, who that's just one topic. I mean, how many other topics? So the fact they went 2 weeks solid on the Kyle Rittenhouse trial and crickets about the Elaine Griswold trial. You know what I mean? Yep. It's like this is the same media, so we can't believe a word they're saying. I'm not saying that there's not a problem over there in Ukraine and Russia, but all we know so far is what this media has told us. So we have to be eyes open here and say, like, what's really happening? What's really going on?
Whatever they tell you, don't believe it. Like, whatever they tell you, at least we know that that's not true.
Yeah. Right? So and what I say is, ask yourself this: why is Russia saying that they're doing this? Why is Russia saying it? And then go research that if that's factual. If Russia's saying we're doing it because the moon is purple, well, then go find out if the moon is purple. And if it's not purple, then we know Russia's lying too. You know what I'm saying? They're all lying. Somebody's lying. But also, you can't just absolutely say, oh, let's get an American flag and a Ukrainian flag lapel pin and walk around and say we're supporting Ukraine. We don't know that Ukraine is innocent in this. Obviously, there's innocent people in Ukraine that are innocent, but we don't know that the Ukrainian government is innocent in this conflict. Mm-hmm. And we don't know for a fact that Russia is just inherently evil and bad. It's like, what is going on? What's the real story here? We need to find that out. We can't just believe it because CNN has told us this, or because MSNBC or any of these, other news outlets that we know historically have lied to us time and time and time again to push their narrative and their objectives. We can't just say, hey, they're telling us the truth now. Yeah. We don't know. So, thank you.
And based off of that, what do you think about these gas prices?
I say $10 a gallon is worth it.
Like that meme I saw. They're going up faster than Joe Biden's count at 2 a.m.
To defend our democracy, our democratic values worldwide.
No.
It is 100% worth it to neuter ourselves as far as energy independence and hand it all over to Russia.
Hey, before I neutered before y'all did.
Hey, give me a high five with our social distance. There we go. That was good. Nice.
Mazzani.
Okay.
My friend said all these people complaining about gas prices. What we gonna do? Walk?
That's what the administration's saying. Mainstream media is like, just drive less. We have more oil than any other country in the world. We were energy independent under Trump, relying on nobody. We were exporting it. And then when Joe Biden gets in office, he cuts off the XL pipeline and all other pipelines. Gives a
not too fast. We talked about this. Slow down. I want you to tell this, but you got to realize
I'm getting mad.
You just got to realize that people glass over if you go too fast with information. Back it up. Okay. What is a pipeline?
A pipeline, man. This pipeline in particular.
I think that's a neat idea.
Okay. This pipeline in particular was running from Canada to the United States. Now, pipelines expedite the time that it takes to transport fuel from one location to the next.
Right, so you don't have to wait on trucks and stuff.
It's also a lot more environmentally friendly because we don't have to utilize those trucks and trains that would transport the fuel.
And burn fuel to get it there.
Exactly, exactly. And it would reduce the cost of that fuel for all Americans and businesses that use fuel to transport goods and services, like the food that you buy, right?
Does that make sense?
Making everything cheaper.
That makes sense.
The food that I buy.
This pipeline in particular was also environmentally friendly. It was one of the most, probably the most updated pipelines that the world has ever seen. And we had multiple investors, ensuring that.
And reiterate that all you Americans that are watching this, which are probably everybody, actually we're all over the world, and we have people chime in from other countries.
Yeah,
so
we're
that's
global.
True. Sorry for the insult for all of you non-Americans. But this particular pipeline that we're talking about, it ran through the country of America.
Mm-hmm.
So it would carry the fuel quickly and efficiently. Efficiently means it costs less money to get the fuel there. So therefore, the prices for that fuel is less. Does that make sense? So our prices, for example, when Trump was in office, which the pipeline was active when Trump was in office. Is that correct?
What was that?
The pipeline was active when Trump was in.
It was in production.
In production. So we're trying to get this thing completed so it can be active, right? So we can have cheaper gas.
Mm-hmm.
But we were already getting gas and fuel here in this country. That's why our prices were lower. First thing Biden did was what?
He cut off. He just stopped it. He said, "We're not doing this."
Literally, like the first thing he did, like the first thing Trump did was stop the Obamacare thing, right?
I don't know if that was the first thing he did. And
what was that Trump did? It was pretty impressive. First thing, I think it was.
I can tell you a lot of impressive things.
But the first thing Biden did was he said, "Hey, we're stopping this pipeline."
Wasn't that because it was running through a Native American, like?
Yes, that was a big criticism of it. It was running through native land.
Yeah,
it was running through the land that we gave to the natives.
Yes.
What? Oh my gosh!
Underneath it.
Underneath it, yeah.
I think. I'm not 100% positive on that one.
Yeah, we got to get some more facts here.
Mm-hmm.
We're these fact checkers for Facebook are just
all these racists.
They're just freaking out right now. I'm fact checking that one.
Well, I mean, the fact remains, under Trump, we were energy independent. We were exporting oil for the first time, and it was cheap for all Americans.
These are facts.
The reason, I guess, the guise that the Democrats want to use is, hey, we want to move towards green energy, which coincidentally they invest heavily in, and the United States doesn't have the infrastructure to support yet.
Yeah.
So it makes no sense to just, again, neuter us as far as energy independence goes, and then leave us to the whims of people who hate us worldwide, like Russia. Russia's part of OPEC, and all those Saudi Arabian countries that we are at odds with, unless, again, Biden and his swamp cronies, swamp monsters, invest in foreign oil. I mean, just follow the paper trail.
Swamp monsters.
Yeah, the people who don't care about Americans, they just care about enriching themselves.
Yeah, I agree.
So just follow the paper trail, and it will make perfect sense. But again, the mainstream media doesn't talk about this.
So this answer is in response to the question of what do you think about the gas prices, right? Just to remind you guys of the question. And so the reason gas prices are so high is because it's costing us more now to get gas to your pumps, right? And so it was cheaper before Biden changed the rules. And now that Biden's changed the rules, it costs more to get. And why did he change the rules? Well, the theory is that it benefited him.
I don't think you answered the question. The question was, what do you think about gas prices?
Well, I think $10 a gallon is worth it to defend democracy.
I think you need to pay for the gas in a Jeep. Then have a Jeep outside. You can pay for that gas. That'd be great.
One of us.
It's quite expensive.
Tracy, you are defending democracy worldwide.
I think that there's statistics. There's statistics to show that we have enough fuel in America for Americans.
Not everybody drives a baby car, Andrew.
We have enough. We produce enough fuel, fossil fuels right here in America, on American soil, that we don't even need to be buying fuel from overseas, from these other places, to bring it in. You know what I mean? It's just it's a racket.
Well, I'm from Pennsylvania, and
that explains it.
Fracking used to be really big. It made a lot of money, and
what does that mean?
Fracking is, in layman's terms, they put a pipe down in the ground, real far down in the ground, and there's oil that's down in the ground, and they shoot water, high pressurized water, and just shoot the oil back up. That's as deep as I understand it. Of course,
I thought you were saying a bad word.
Fracking, F-R-A.
Oh, that's because Mom says that word all the time and replaces with a bad word.
No, I've heard conflicting. I've heard conflicting stories about whether that's actually environmentally bad. They were saying, "Oh, it's setting wells on fire and things are dying because it's spreading fuel throughout the ground and it's coming up, seeping out of the ground." Could just be a propaganda campaign from green groups.
Yeah,
right?
it's true.
It's really hard.
But if you think about it from an engineering perspective, if you have a pipe going in and the pressure rising that up, you have to have something around it to protect the outside. So they probably do. So I don't think it would be an issue.
I'm not an engineer, but from what I've heard, it is watertight, and these people know what they're doing.
Yeah.
However, there's propaganda out there. There's people that want you to think differently. It's misinformation for whatever political expedience or whatever gain that they have to make.
Have you tried turning it off?
Yeah, you always, in any of these subjects, you always have to ask yourself, who's telling you this information and why are they telling you this information? You know, and research both of those things, and it will help you answer a lot of questions about these topics. But
you know what? Here's what's crazy. I want to tell you one thing.
Okay.
Live life, and I heard this recently from a friend. Live life like a child. But why? But why? But why is that like that? But why did you say that?
Yeah.
And you'll start to like really care about things. It is a completely different aspect to live it like
It's
a child.
amazing. A lot of times with my kids, they'll come home from school or they'll pick up stuff off the internet or whatever, and they'll say, "Oh, this happened or that happened," or "Can you believe this?" And I say, "Where did you hear that?" And they're like, "Oh, well," and I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm not challenging that it's true or false. I'm asking where you heard that." And they're like, "Oh, I read a headline on Facebook," and I'm like, well, did you research that? Even conservative outlets will still put up headlines that I'll read the headline and I'll be like, "Oh, no, they didn't," and then I'll go read the content and I'm like, "Nah, it's not really a rock solid argument that they did this." You know what I mean? And so,
well, to piggyback off what Mazzani said, I would just say sarcastically, don't think critically, because if you do, you're a racist. Or a sexist, misogynist, whatever ish.
That's the message that we're hearing from the mainstream.
They will gaslight you like crazy if you think for yourself, which is unfortunate. And we saw it for the last 2 years.
We've come into a season of this country where the people who have control of the media are controlling, the outcome. And now we're starting a whole let's think of the word I want to use, but a whole parallel economy. It's beginning. A whole parallel economy of businesses and individuals and organizations who are saying, we're not even going to be a part of that anymore. They've started their own platforms, social media platforms. They started their own websites. They started their own businesses. And they're just saying, look, we're not even, whereas the whole world for a long time, it was YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and that was the information. That's where social media lived, Obviously they added Instagram, but that's really part of Facebook, And it's like, that's where information lived and everything. But now those big platforms have said, look, if you're not going to think the way we think, then we're going to silence you. And therefore these conservatives have said, look, let's forget them then. We're going to start like I said, a parallel economy. There's these conservative websites now that are equivalent to Twitter, equivalent to Facebook, the social media sites that are predominantly conservatives, where they have Marketplace on there now. They have people, our son's friend, his mom brought him over to hang out with our son, and she said she got a job from this platform. Because on that platform, all of these companies are like, forget the vaccine. You don't have to be vaccinated to work here. So where over here, people are getting fired because they don't have a vaccine, right? They leave there, and then this other parallel economy is saying, hey, you don't have to have a vaccine to live in this other parallel economy. Businesses are advertising on there saying, hey, come shop at our store. You don't have to wear masks. Students and everything. There's Marketplace. I looked on the Marketplace. It's not as big, obviously, as Facebook. Facebook has billions of visitors, and these platforms have 11 million or 30 million or 50 million viewers, which is still a lot, but it's not a lot when you spread it out around the world. But there's a big movement being pushed for a parallel economy for people that are sick and tired of this cancel culture over here, and they want to be able to say what they want to say. It's not necessarily even a conservative platform. It's more of a free speech platform or platforms. And with free speech, you're going to have things that people say that you don't like, because there's a lot of different kinds of people out there. And if you give everybody the freedom to say whatever they want, they're going to say things that are hateful or hurtful or racist or, anything that you don't want to hear. That comes with free speech, right? But the beauty of it is you also have the right to say whatever you feel.
Yeah. That whole thing sounds like a marketplace for racism. I'm being sarcastic. But that's what they labeled. They can't. Amazon Web Servers, they canceled Rumble for a little bit. Maybe it was Rumble.
Parler.
Yeah. They canceled it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm talking. I'm talking about Parler. I'm talking about Gab. I'm talking about me, Me. You know, there's a lot of these that are not there. Some of the leadership of these are Christian-based leadership, but the people in it are clear not. I mean, I was on Gab the other day and made a comment, and some guy comes on and he's like, "Yeah, no." The comment was what somebody commented that America always sides with Israel. And then I commented, I said, well, they better, if, you know, it's the only thing holding us together right now, you know, because of our allegiance or our alliance with Israel means that God's also blessing our country, right? And so I made a comment like that. And then some other guy comes back and he's like, profanity, you know, Israel's just a profanity of, you know, right. And you Christians and your God and blah, 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 you know? And I was just like, well, there's the beauty of this platform. You get people that say things that are offensive, and he has the right to say that, you know? Yeah. Now, of course, let me just preempt it, say that on these platforms, they have, like, you can't threaten to hurt somebody. You can't have, you know, incite violence and stuff.
Right. That's not protected under the First Amendment.
Right. And so
the definition of fascism is actually, you know, the elimination of opposing thought. I think it's really kind of ironic and hilarious that Antifa are the people who support fascists.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, I mean, it's just ignorance.
It's the title. Yeah, the title of their organization is Anti-Fascism.
We have a question from a girl named Tifa.
But, word.
Yeah, we should address it.
All right, let's. We had our political rant there.
Here we got
Andrew.
time for one more question.
Let's take another question. Last question, and Mazzani. Thank you, Kendall. That's good.
What direction would you like to see Star Wars go now that the Skywalker saga is over?
Oh man, you know Mazzani was hating that prior political question and topic. If she's willing to bring up a Star Wars question,
as you wish.
That's cool. Read me the question again, Mazzani, because I was just floored that you even asked a Star Wars question.
Don't fail me again.
It's gone.
Admiral.
Ryan, can you put it back on the
what
screen?
What direction?
No, I can't. I really cannot. I cannot find it now. I'm so serious.
It was like, what direction you want to see the Star Wars franchise go now?
After the Skywalker saga.
Oh, okay, after Skywalker. Well, so are they saying there's no? Okay, so
like they're done. Like they're done with the you know.
Well, they all died. All the Skywalkers died.
Yeah, so would you want to see it like back in the past, way before, like the first Jedi, or like way in the future, like?
I mean, there's something to be said about the Skywalkers. I think they should take one or two official Star Wars movies without Skywalker, a Skywalker, and then
bring them back.
And then we should find out that Luke had a child
out of wedlock,
right? And like. Maybe Luke even had a fling and was married.
Because he was not baptized.
He was gone for. Luke was gone for 30 years, right, or something like that. He was on the.
He had to do something.
So in that time, why can't we say he fell in love with a woman and had a kid?
Is that canon, bro?
And now
is that canon?
And now the Skywalker saga
like
saga
join me
is
in my quarters this night
reborn.
For some toast.
So, but let me say this: until then, do I want to see Rey go into some weird thing and she's like the star? Not really. I mean, I'm happy with Rey. I feel like she did a good job, but I'm just ready for that to be over.
Please.
I would like to see Kylo Ren some more. I liked him, but I didn't like him that he came to be. You know, on a good guy at the end.
I thought he was such a weak villain. I didn't believe him.
He was kind of a big crybaby, wasn't he?
Yeah, come on.
Had temper tantrums and all that stuff.
Leave it up to Disney.
But I liked the backstory of that. I liked that foundation for him because, you know, he's a kid who was raised in the shadow of Darth Vader, you know, and it's like, I liked the story they gave for that. So
he had to live up to that.
I love all the TV shows Disney's doing. Jeffrey. So what? You ready?
Huh? No, go ahead.
Oh yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the Star Wars saga is number one.
What about Darth Maul? I think that would be sick if they made a movie just for Darth Maul.
Is that what you were doing?
I was trying to tell you that we're about to run.
I agree.
Oh,
yeah. I think he was the best.
Okay. Well, listen, let's pick up the Star Wars conversation next week. What do you say, Mazzani? Since you love this topic, and so. Put all your questions in the comments about Star Wars for next week, and we will pull those up, pick up this conversation at that time. We are out of time for this episode. We're so glad you guys watched. If you're one of my children or grandchildren or generations after me, I love you guys. I encourage you to seek the Lord and become good friends with Jesus. I've been friends with Jesus my whole life, and I encourage you. Hopefully you have been as well if you were raised in our family. But yeah, seek the Lord. If you're not, I also encourage you to seek the Lord. He's good news. And so everybody else watching, hope you guys have a great week. Can't wait to see you guys next time on the next Ask Big Van show. God bless you guys. See you then.
Hey everybody, this is Big Van, and if you'd like to watch our show live, then you must subscribe and follow so that it alerts you when we're on the air. Be sure to check out the links below for some live show times and some very cool products so you can have your own conversation starters. We can't wait to see you and your questions and comments on the next live Ask Big Van show.